Like, you didn't think I could name all 32 NFL head coaches? Dog, don't test me. I'll do it right now. I'm Nova.
I'm Jack.
And this is
Two Shmucks and a Bunch of Yucks.
This is special.
It's still big.
Yeah, I know it's fun. I looked at my birthday's tomorrow, so that's cool.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, dog.
Thanks, dog. 31 years young. Let's go.
Let's go.
I won't say old yet. All the kids in my work are like, dude, you're freaking old. I'm like,
Shut up.
You're going to be my age soon, dog. Like, relax.
Yeah, you're going to blink and you're going to be 40. Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I called that guy old that one time, and now I'm being called old. Get fudged, bro. Know what? No. I'm sorry, church people. Get fucked, bro. No. Your youth is fleeting.
It is so
Cherish
fleeting,
it.
dude.
And then realize that when you're an adult, that people are like, oh, being an adult sucks. Nah, dog. It's actually kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
You obviously have to work and stuff. Oh, no. You have to provide a service to society. Wow, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
And, but you make money off of it. And if you play your cards right and you do a good thing and you're smart and you don't waste your money on stuff you shouldn't, you'll have a good life. Yeah, it's okay, Jack. We all do it. We all do it. Don't just point at yourself. We all waste our money on crap we don't need.
Yeah.
I mean, for goodness sakes, I just spent $150 on an office chair.
I mean, you were sitting in a lawn chair, a literal lawn chair.
Yeah, it was a necessity, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a total necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so comfortable.
I'm glad.
And then my butt doesn't hurt.
Nice.
I'd be like playing a game. I'd be like scooching everywhere.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean, dude.
Doing the PC shuffle.
Yep.
I'm just so yeah. Oh, for those of you who are interested, which for a lot of Washington natives is not a thing anymore because they took them away, but because the NBA finals are happening right now.
Yep.
Our former team, the Seattle Supersonics, are now the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are in the finals right now.
Really?
Yes. We don't want them to win because they're not the Sonics. We want them to lose because screw them. They took the Sonics away from us. That's the craziest part.
I think I went to one Sonics game in my life, and I was very, very young. My dad took me.
They are one of the only two. Okay. They're one of three major league sports teams in the Seattle area that have won a championship. Seahawks.
Yep.
Supersonics. You're never going to guess the third one. You never would ever guess the third one. It's the Seattle Storm, our WNBA team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They went on like a historic run not too long ago.
Oh, okay, cool. Good for them.
Yeah, and WNBA, like you take it, they call it the W now. The W.
Is that what Caitlin Clark is in?
Yes.
Dude, I saw a clip of her recently just getting actually battered on the court.
those chicks are tough, bro.
Well, it's more like
nah,
F.U. Caitlin Clark and like
yeah, kind of. I mean,
like
she's
literally
the most popular player in the WNBA's history ever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close.
Dude, throwing just downtown three-pointers too, dude.
Yeah.
She's super talented.
She's legit. She might be the most talented basketball player that's a woman that I've ever seen. And I don't really watch a whole lot of W. I'd have to get our homie Jakey on here to really kind of get you in on that.
Does he watch a lot of the W?
Yeah, he's a sports junkie.
Okay, so
I watch
sports in general.
I like football, and I will dabble in basketball and baseball. He is just sports, right?
All of it.
I am I would say I fine-tuned to a point on football really hard.
Yeah.
So college and NFL, I probably know more than him.
Okay.
And that's a kind of a stretch because he's also a junkie. I respect the heck out of his knowledge too. So me and him, I get really emotional with my opinions sometimes.
Okay.
He kind of stays back a bit. He's able to
levels it out.
He's able to level it out a bit.
Okay.
Obviously, some of them he doesn't stay completely unemotional on because that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I'll get really emotional, and it's mostly because I'll hear some broadcaster, some uber annoying NFL expert, quote unquote, talk some amount of crap about a player that I think is actually really good, and I'll be like, "You're an idiot," and then
the passion just comes out.
and then I would say like 50% of the time they're right.
Okay.
Sometimes they are just bad.
So on the topic of sports, what have you been like watching recently? What have you been?
Well, I mean
delving
the finals.
into?
The finals have been on,
Sure. Yep.
right?
Yep.
I watched a little bit of it just because NBA playoff basketball is a lot different than normal NBA basketball because they let you go hard in the paint.
Yeah.
Pun in there, right there. Like that, the physicality is a lot more apropos, and it's like more very apparent. Because in the regular season, they'll call a foul for you, like kissing their little ring finger or something. But now you can like shove an elbow and like you can box out and you can actually really dig in and like you can hard foul some guys too. And you can play way more physical. Yeah, it's so much better basketball. Because you could say like in football, you're like, it's a physical game. Like you're hitting the crap out of each other and like they kind of let you play a lot of the time. The refs nowadays are a little annoying, but what refs aren't annoying, right?
Yeah,
but basketball, they will call some of those guys kind of babies and soft because they don't. They whine about every ref call, right? But in the playoffs, no dog, you got to be tough. You got to be tough.
You got to be tough
because you're gonna get rough and tumbled.
Okay.
Especially back, it's good now, but back in like the 80s, 90s, man, there was some stuff that I don't think they would never get away with it today.
Like what?
Like so, I'll have to have you watch it, the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. Michael Jordan, when he was coming up, he was going up against in the Eastern Conference when he was playing for the Bulls. He went up against they were called the Bad Boy Pistons. Mm-hmm. Bro, sometimes they would just punch you, like they would just straight up punch you, bro. And they would get away with it. Bill Laimbeer, bro, he was like just the dirtiest mother trucker on the planet. It was insane. They would literally just beat you up. It's like you were like. They wouldn't like straight up throw a punch, but it felt like it.
It looked like it, yeah.
You were just elbows were flying and just bumping chest and hips and stuff. Oh, it was crazy. And back in the day, you didn't really shoot 3-pointers as much.
Well, really?
Because the 3-pointer is more of a modern evolution of the game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's what happened in basketball is the game used to be a lot more about passing, mid-range, going for layups and dunks.
Okay.
And then playing like defense on that, but now you have to defend the actual perimeter because the 3-point line, like guys like Steph Curry, Ray Allen, those guys, they started getting super skilled and they could just drain 3-pointers, and 3 is more than 2, right?
Obviously.
So people were like, let's just start shooting these more, and then the evolution of the game, people get more and more skilled and more athletic.
Gotcha.
As science and nutrition and athletics evolve, it's just naturally going to happen. Doesn't mean those guys back in the day weren't skilled, but if you're comparing,
it was a different game.
Yeah, if you're comparing pure athleticism today to like the 90s, like the modern athlete is just better, bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
And like Michael Jordan was an outlier. I think that's one of the reasons that he was so good.
It's like trying to compare like Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps to a swimmer or a runner from the 90s. It's just like they're like different animals. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Almost exactly right on the like some chucklehead swimming in the 1800s is not going to compare to somebody swimming right now.
No, definitely
not even close.
Yeah.
Now, endurance might be a little bit of a different factor in certain respects because sometimes the willpower of those people back in the day was like different.
Yeah. Like, there's plenty of factors that go into it besides just pure athleticism, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sports have just changed.
Yeah, and I would argue for mostly the better because everyone's a lot more skilled. But at the same time, you could argue that there's less grit and there's less because because with a lot of leagues there's the free agency and trading and stuff. Back in the day, when you get drafted to a team, you're on that team. That's it.
Oh, really?
You were not allowed to go to another team. No. If you got released, you couldn't sign with somebody. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. You sign to the team, that's the team you're on.
Okay.
Unless you got traded, because trading came a little bit later, but then it came before free agency.
Gotcha.
But now free agency is the thing where you can decide to go sign with another team if your contract runs out and the team doesn't want to sign you.
Sorry, I just remember my brain's been a little all over the place this week. And just while you were talking, my ADHD just made the connection to, I just thought of J.J. Watt for some reason.
Big J.J. Watt, one of the greatest defensive players of all time.
But did you see his scene from Tires, Shane Gillis' show?
I haven't watched that yet.
Okay, so the scene it's made its rounds on the internet. It's J.J. Watt comes in and is like, he went to middle school with Shane's character. And he's like, oh, it's little J.J. Wah.
J.J. Wah.
J.J. Wah.
That's so good.
He's like, oh, you're still bullying people? He's like, yeah.
JJ was a 3-time defensive player of the year.
That's awesome.
3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He was a monster. Too bad the problem was he played with the Texans for most of his career, and the Texans were not a good team. He made them into what appeared to be a really good team.
Oh, cool.
He was just
because
so
his
good.
brother's in the league still.
TJ, yeah, he plays for the Steelers.
Cool.
JJ was more of a 3-down lineman, so he'd play a lot more on the line of scrimmage. TJ is an outside edge rusher.
Oh, okay.
So he'll play on the outside and come in and try and collapse the pocket on the quarterback.
Gotcha.
TJ's really good too. It's crazy. That family's just nuts. They're just great. It's like the Mannings, you know.
Yeah, they just goated.
I think they have a brother that's also like a fullback. That was a fullback or something, but he was not obviously as good as the other two, unfortunately.
Because there was a commercial towards the end of the football season where they were in like Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that around Christmas time, and it was JJ that was in the store.
Yes.
And then he comes out like covered in like Christmas lights and whatever, and it's like his mom, his dad, and the 2 brothers.
Yep. It's football's it's cool in that way. There's not a whole lot of siblings there, but there's more siblings than you would think. Like so you obviously have the Mannings, the Watts. There's the McCourty brothers. They were both secondary players, so a corner and a free safety. Devin played free safety. Jason played corner. So they covered wide receivers and stopped quarterbacks and stuff. There's some other guys I just can't think of off the top of my head, but there's a bunch of actual brothers and stuff and cousins in the NFL. It's really cool. Oh, Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
So Trayvon's a corner for the Cowboys. Stephon is a receiver for the Patriots now. Was a receiver for the Vikings and Bills and Texans for a year, which didn't work out.
Cool.
So there's all sorts of cool stuff like that in the league, and it's awesome to see when they actually get to play together, or in the case of Peyton and Eli, they could never play together because they played the same position.
Yeah, seriously.
It's my turn to play quarterback, Peyton. Shut up, Eli. I'm better than you. True. Although it was really funny for the longest time before Peyton won his last Super Bowl with Denver, Eli had 2 and Peyton only had 1, and Peyton's just consensus agreed to be the better player.
Okay.
Eli was good, but he was never as good as Peyton.
What do you think about the young stud?
Are you talking about Arch?
Yeah.
So that's their nephew.
Yeah.
Playing at Texas this year. This is his first full year starting.
NFL?
This year. No, college.
Oh, okay.
He's still in college. He's pretty young. He's supposed to be better than all of them.
Really?
Yes. So he's supposed to be like Peyton, but with legs.
Okay.
So he can run and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. The limited time I got to saw him last year when he came in when Ewers got hurt for Texas. Quinn Ewers, their quarterback, who's now playing for the Dolphins, I think. 7th round pick. He was pretty good. Young, raw, uber physically gifted.
Okay.
Dude has a rocket, and dude can run. So,
okay.
There is a possibility
he's got the rocket
really
and the boosters, you can say.
Yes. He's got a rocket up his butt, and he's got a rocket in his arm.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He's not actually that fast, but he's pretty fast. He's not like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen fast, but he's fast.
Okay.
It's really going to be interesting to see how his career would actually end up. Me and Jakey low-key kind of wanted him to be a draft pick for the Seahawks.
Oh, of course you do.
Because that would be really cool. He came up with the hashtag canning for Manning, aka trying to be bad so we can get a draft pick for him. But I think what the Hawks did this year is actually smarter. Oh no, people that have been doing it for decades know more than me. What
What did they do?
So we traded Geno Smith. We got rid of Geno,
who was our quarterback.
Yep, our starting quarterback the last couple of years, because his contract demands were a little too high for how good he actually is.
Okay.
And they went and signed Sam Darnold, who's about his equivalent but much younger.
Okay.
And for a little bit less money than him. Now people say that Geno's better. I don't agree. I think they're about the same. I think Darnold has a little bit more upside just because he's younger and he has more room to grow.
Sure.
And he won't make as many mistakes as Geno did. I don't. People overestimated Geno because he threw the most interceptions in football last year. Tied.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he's really good, guys. No. Shut up. But the offense didn't tailor to him. He chose to throw half those balls.
Yeah.
He could have checked that down. He could have not thrown that. You can't all blame the offensive coordinator. Half of those were his fault. 2 of those I watched the game where he threw 2 horrifying interceptions that if he hadn't have thrown them, we would have won the game. And we probably would have won our division last year.
Ooh.
Over the Rams.
Ooh.
So, anyone who's a Geno stan, you're wrong. I'm sorry. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. I don't care. You're just wrong.
We do not stand stands here.
I loved Geno for what he was, but when people are defending him for no reason other than just because they're afraid of moving on to the next thing, that's what's going to kill people in the NFL is stagnation. Anyway, going back, they signed Darnold, and then months ago, before the draft, I had been saying, after you've been with the general manager for long enough, I kind of see how Schneider likes to draft, John Schneider, our general manager. I had said months ago that he was going to like one of the quarterbacks in the draft this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think he was going to take him in the first round, and nor should he have, or in the second round. He got him in the third round, like Russell Wilson. Well, is he going to be like Russell Wilson? Probably not, but you never know. I hope so. And so is the guy from Alabama. His name is Jalen Milroe. He is actually fast.
Okay.
Actual big athlete.
And we got this guy?
Yes, we got him in third round. Huge cannon arm, actually fast. Got to work on his accuracy a little bit. But he's got from what I've read and what I've seen and what I've heard in the press conferences I've listened to, super good temperament, really even-keeled guy, super mature for his age.
That sounds awesome.
Like a dude, yeah, exactly. And he's a big, strong, talented athlete. Now he's just got to work on actually being a quarterback because he's more of an athlete than a quarterback right now.
Okay.
And he played for one of the biggest college football programs in the nation in Alabama, the Crimson Tide.
Yep.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
But I had been saying for months I thought that Schneider was gonna get him, and then he got him, and I was like, I told all y'all, and everybody's like, oh, I can't believe you got it right. I'm like, I generally am pretty good at this stuff, guys. I'm not,
dude.
I'm not.
I don't know if you want to bring it up, but your pick for the Super Bowl this year is crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, hell yeah, dude. All right.
Dude, got me bug-eyed.
Okay. I made a bet recently. I put $20 down to win $3,100.
Mm-hmm.
$20 to win $3,100.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
I hated picking one of them. I detested it. I abhorred it. But I picked the LA Rams from the NFC side.
Yep.
And on the other side, I said, fuck it. I think they're a good team. Jakey's going to be so mad when he sees it because he hates the quarterback of his team.
Okay.
And he thinks I'm just flat out wrong. And I could be. Who knows? I just believe in their coach, the LA Chargers. So it's 2 LA teams. Both the teams from LA. Now people are going to be like, oh, you don't need to pick the Chiefs. They can't go every year, guys. They got their butts kicked last year.
It would be so funny if both LA teams went.
It would be great. I win $3,100 off of $20.
It'd be so funny.
By the way, okay, so the quarterback for the Chargers, Justin Herbert, went to Oregon.
Okay,
so Oregon is a huge rival of UW.
Yes,
and Jakey and Steven are massive UW fans, so they hate every Oregon quarterback.
Okay.
I think Herbert's really talented. He's he's bad. He's really not good.
Bad.
He's actually really good. There have been some games where he fucked up. What quarterback doesn't have a bad game or two, right? And the Chargers have been kind of like a disaster of a franchise for a long time. But they recently signed Jim Harbaugh, who's a really good coach.
Yeah,
right?
I even know that name.
He was the Niners coach when they went to the Super Bowl and barely lost to the Ravens. He was the Stanford coach when Andrew Luck was there, one of the best quarterback prospects in the last 20 years.
Okay.
He knows what he's doing. He's a really good coach. He won the national championship with Michigan not too long ago.
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago. He's a great coach. So I personally think they're going to do really well. And it's been a year now in his system. Herbert's going to be better. They're going to have more players. It's going to make more sense. I just personally think that there's a possibility they could go. Now, could I see a lot of other teams doing it? Of course. Duh. AFC is really crowded. I just think I just saw the money and I was like, okay, I mean, why not?
For $20.
For $20,
yeah.
Right? And then the Rams on the NFC side, the only other team in the NFC that I could really realistically see going, okay, maybe two, is Philly and Detroit. And then at the same time, I think Detroit's going to pull back. Detroit's not going to be as good. They lost a lot of talent and they lost a lot of offense.
Did they?
They have what we call the brain drain. Because they lost both their offensive and defensive coordinators, which are now head coaches elsewhere. Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator, is now the head coach in Chicago.
Okay.
And then Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator, is now the coach in New York for the Jets.
Okay.
So, and those were both really talented coordinators, and they both got nixed. So that got taken to be head coaches. Now, and they lost a little bit of talent, not a lot. Detroit's really good at drafting, so I think they'll be good. I think they'll be really good. That division's also really tough because Ben Johnson went to their division. He's in Chicago now with a quarterback who I think is more talented than their quarterback. He's not better than their quarterback. So Detroit has Jared Goff. Chicago has Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was the number 1 draft pick last year, and he's really talented. Chicago was just a mess.
Okay.
Right? So we'll see. And then Philly's in a division with Washington, who drafted like maybe the best rookie quarterback of all time, Jane Daniels.
Really?
They took him to the he took him to the NFC Championship game. That's never been done.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He beat Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that game.
We did watch that game.
So yeah, and so Philly obviously is the better team overall, but Washington's a good team, and I think Jaden's better than the quarterback for Philly, Jalen Hurts, but people might hate me for saying that, but I just think he's more talented. But yeah, so it's and then the NFC South is a disaster.
Is it?
Yeah, the Buccaneers are good. That's it. Like that's it, dude. The Saints are gonna be garbage.
Really?
Oh, garbage, bro. They have no quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback?
Not a good one. Not one that's been proven. It's like what's a good example of how to explain this? Okay, I'll just do it as best I can. Their quarterback, Derek Carr, that they had was like, okay, he's solid. He's fine. He's had NFL starting experience. Now they have a guy starting right now, currently, that was like a 6th-round draft pick, who is not Tom Brady, because that's the only 6th-round draft pick that's ever been really that good. And he was obviously the GOAT, but that's a little different. Who's this kid named Spencer Rattler, who's not good last year. He started like half of last year, and he was not good. And then they drafted a guy named Tyler Shuck, who is like...
That's a good name, though.
Yeah, and it's spelled weird. It's spelled like Shuff, but like it's pronounced Shuck.
Huh.
We'll see. They could be good, but they have no other talent on the roster. They have a lot of... They need to really rebuild the roster.
Unfortunate.
Tampa Bay's got Baker, touchdown maker, who I really like, but at the same time, their head coach is good, but not great, Todd Bowles. So I think, yeah.
I like that name too.
Todd Bowles. Yeah.
I like
There's
that
some
name.
fun names, bro. I just don't necessarily think that the NFC South is going to produce anything good because the Panthers are rebuilding. They need some more time. And then the Falcons are a mess, just a giant mess. We can get into that at a later date, but they're just a giant mess. So the NFC West is like the Niners. People, it's crazy because Vegas does a win totals projection.
Okay.
And you can go over or under, right? So the over under for the Rams is 9.5 wins. You're like, how do you get half a win? It's just so you can bet over to get 10 wins, under to get 9 wins, right? The Niners are projected to have another win over the Rams. They're projected to go 10.5. Don't see it. I don't see it. They lost so much talent. They are so injury prone. And Kyle Shanahan, while he's a super, super, super smart, their head coach, he's a super smart NFL mind. He's a certified choke artist.
Oh, really?
Homie cannot win the big game.
Huh.
He was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons when they lost to the Patriots when they were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. The biggest Super Bowl comeback ever. Kyle Shanahan was on the wrong side of. He wasn't the head coach, but he was the offensive coordinator.
Oh.
And then he's lost 2 times to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
He gave Mahomes 2 of his wins. Oh, no, you mean, oh, yeah, screw the Niners.
Oh, yeah, 49ers. Yeah, sorry. I thought
we're Seahawks fans around here.
Sorry. In my head, we were still talking about the Cardinals.
No.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
no,
Okay,
no,
yay!
Yeah,
49ers
and the
lost.
Cardinals are like, people think they're going to be better than they are, but they're not. Actually, people think the Seahawks are going to be the worst team in our division, and I don't think so. I think obviously, I'm biased a little bit, but I also think people are a little high on certain teams. I think the Niners or the Cardinals might be in 4th place. We'll see. But I think the Rams are clearly the best team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious to me. I mean, Stafford's the best quarterback in the division by a good margin. And he's one of the best in the NFC, one of the best in the NFL, top 10 for sure, in my opinion. They have a very smart head coach, Sean McVay, who has won a Super Bowl already.
Okay.
And a really good talent on offense and a lot better talent on defense than they had in previous years. And it was really young and really talented, really smart, good players. So I just think the Rams are the only team last year that gave Philly a fight up in the playoffs. They were up in Philly in a snowstorm and almost won.
Wow.
A team from frickin' LA, the Sunshine State. Dog.
Yeah.
That's actually Florida, but California, they play in
snow
a
is a snow. A home field advantage is not.
Yeah, no, snow home field advantage is for a lot of teams like that.
Well, I was talking about for LA.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Snow is bad.
Yeah,
no me gusta, but they played it. So I think the Rams could get out of the NFC this year. I just personally think they will. That's the one I'm like pretty good positive on. The other one is maybe because the Chargers play in the Chiefs division. So, and that division's tough because the Broncos got better. The Raiders, unfortunately, got better because of Geno.
Yeah.
They traded for Geno, and then they got Pete. They got Pete Carroll as their head coach now. You know, that's a fun exercise I did way back in the day with one of our not. I mean, you don't know him as well, but our mutual acquaintance friend, Jared.
Oh, okay.
He didn't think I could name all 32 NFL head coaches. Dog.
Got it.
Don't test me. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right fucking now. You could bring up the list and I'll name every single one without even having to look. That'd be a fun one to everyone test me on that.
Yeah.
I'll do that one of these podcasts.
We'll have Paul test you on that so he can say no, wrong. No, wrong.
That's cheating.
Wrong.
That's just cheating because he's just going to tell me I'm wrong even though I'm completely correct.
It would just be really funny for me.
You know what, Jack? Fucking bring up a list right now. I'll do it. Come on. I want to do it.
Okay.
I want to show off a little, all right?
All right.
All 32 current NFL head coaches. You name the team, I'll name the head coach. Right now.
Well, 32.
Easy. It's not even going to be a problem.
Head coaches 2025.
Yes, guys, I am a junkie. I just want you all to be aware. This is me just showing off.
Okay, well, that's 8 of them.
This is pure vanity.
That's only 8.
Okay, well, there's 32.
I know. I'm trying to find it. It's like Google's like, here's 8 of them. It's like,
why would they not? Did you say all NFL head coaches?
Yeah,
and they're like, here's 8.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Okay, Google. Like, why? Like, what are we doing?
Where did the list go? I'm looking at this page, and the list is just like...
I would look it up on my phone,
here
but then people be like, you looked it up on your phone. That means you're cheating.
Okay,
Okay.
Is this all 32? Let me find out real fast.
4 divisions, each with 4 teams.
It was down to 23, so I'm guessing
16 teams in each conference. 32. 4 teams to 4 divisions. It's actually a perfect number. I think the NFL's got most of their shit down right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack's doing a quick count, guys. Once again, y'all are probably like, oh, wow, he's just showing off. Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. Or you're going to be impressed, which, thank you, because I'm going to do it. It's going to be awesome.
Okay, this is 31 teams, and we'll figure out what the...
That's fine. I'll be able to fill in the gap. Okay.
All right, starting with the Cleveland Browns.
Kevin Stefanski.
Okay, Houston Texans.
Oh, gosh. D'Amico Ryans.
New York Jets.
Oh, Aaron Glenn.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Todd Bowles.
New Orleans Saints.
Kellen Moore.
Carolina Panthers.
Dave Canales.
Atlanta Falcons.
Raheem Morris. You're laughing because you know I'm
Minnesota Vikings.
Kevin O'Connell.
Green Bay Packers.
Matt LaFleur.
Detroit Lions.
Dan Campbell. Motor City Dan Campbell. MCDC.
Da Bears.
Oh, Ben Johnson. Already talked about him.
Los Angeles Rams.
Sean McVay.
Seattle Seahawks.
Mike McDonald.
That's my uncle's name.
Mike. It's a great name. I love Mike.
Washington Commanders.
Dan Quinn.
Sorry, skip the 49ers.
Kyle Shanahan.
And Arizona Cardinals.
Jonathan Gannon.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, gosh. What's his name? Nick Sirianni.
You got... Dude, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Dog. Like,
I'm a freaking freak, dude.
New York Giants.
Brian Daboll.
Jaguars.
Oh.
Out of Jacksonville.
Oh, Liam Cohen. There we go.
Tennessee Titans.
Oh gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm choking. I got it. Hold on. Brian Callahan,
Indianapolis Colts.
Shane Steichen,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mike Tomlin,
Cincinnati Bengals.
Zach Taylor,
Baltimore Ravens.
John Harbaugh, the other Harbaugh,
Los Angeles Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh,
Oh, there you go.
Double
Las
Harbaugh.
Vegas Raiders.
Pete Carroll.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Nope. Kansas City Chiefs.
Andy Reid,
Denver Broncos.
Sean Payton,
Really? A Peyton?
Sean Payton. It's not
No relation?
Manning. No, Peyton.
Oh, yeah.
Manning.
Duh. Yeah, sorry. Brain stupid.
You're good. It's okay.
New England Patriots.
Mike Vrabel,
Buffalo Bills.
Sean McDermott,
Miami Dolphins.
Mike McDaniels.
And then one team that isn't listed, and I have no idea what team it would be.
Hold on. I'll get this.
Oh, you know what it is?
Huh.
It is...
What did we not name? Cowboys. It was Brian. It's Brian Schottenheimer.
Dallas Cowboys is not on this
Brian
list.
Schottenheimer. Dallas Cowboys. Boom. 32. Damn. And I rapid fired most of those.
Oh, Buffalo Bills is right there. It was literally the second to last one.
Yeah. They didn't have the Cowboys on there for some reason, but Brian Schottenheimer.
Who'd you say for the Jaguars?
Liam Cohen.
Okay.
Liam Cohen. He's new this year, so my brain turned off for a second.
Who'd you say for the Giants?
Brian Daboll.
Okay. I'm just double checking.
Yeah? Rock and roll. Test me.
Who'd you say for Dolphins?
Mike McDaniels.
There you go.
Whatever the fuck his last name is.
Technically, it's just McDaniel.
Oh, God, I added an S.
Yeah.
Sue me. S for...
I think I was laughing
Sue me.
at Kevin Stefanski.
That's a fun name, huh?
It's a fun name, dude.
Yeah. He's a good coach, too.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. Fun fact, Todd Bowles used to be the head coach of the Jets back in the day.
Who do you... Okay, now, out of all of them...
Right, yep.
Out of all of them, this list... That
Number
wasn't
one,
in
claps
order.
for Nova.
Claps for Nova.
Claps for Nova. Thank you, guys. Anyway.
That list was not in order, but this
Yep.
is a list of all 32 teams ranked by head coach.
Oh,
Who do you think the number one is?
Andy Reid.
Yeah. Who do you think number 2 is?
Okay, see, here's going to get subjective. I think Sean McVay.
Yep.
Wow, okay, hell yeah. Okay.
And I'm only going to do this last one.
Hell yeah.
The top 3. Number 3.
Oh, part of me, it depends on who wrote the list, right? Because
The list was written by someone named Patrick Doherty.
Okay, he's one of those sports fans. Yeah, okay, I have 2 names in my head, and I'm gonna go with the one I think he's.
I'm gonna give you a couple hints.
I might not need them. It's probably a team from the NFC, so it's either gonna be.
No idea what that means.
I know. I'm sorry, Jack. That's not gonna be helpful for you. NFC is our conference. AFC is the other conference.
Okay.
Seahawks are in the NFC. There's 16 teams in the NFC,
Yep.
16 teams in the AFC.
Okay.
I think it's either going to be... I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Shanahan.
No.
Sirianni?
No. This person
John Harbaugh?
Yep.
Okay, so that makes sense. John Harbaugh has a Super Bowl. Sirianni also has a Super Bowl. Shanahan does not. People were all saying Shanahan was like a top 5 because he's just really smart. But John Harbaugh makes sense.
All right, now just for my amusement.
Oh, okay, for the bottom?
The bottom 3.
That's weird because a lot of these guys are new. But I know who the bottom is. I know who the bottom's going to be.
Okay.
I know
Third from the bottom.
Oh, third from the bottom.
Third from the bottom.
Fuck, it's gonna be a new guy. Aaron Glenn.
No.
See, it's
This is more subjective.
Yeah,
so
and then the problem
like I said,
is
this is just for my amusement.
It's also going to be a guy who's either new or like someone who's been in the league that everyone thinks sucks.
Yeah. So these people. Okay. This person has the absolute bottom has a career record. Would you like to know what their career record is?
Is it not Schottenheimer?
At the very bottom?
Is 32 not Schottenheimer?
Nope.
It's not Schottenheimer?
Nope.
This guy is a dumbass.
Nope. That's one above the bottom.
Okay, he's 31. Who's 32?
Mike Vrabel.
They put Mike Vrabel last?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, dog. Okay. What's this guy? Patrick Dougherty? Dumbass. Patrick Dumbass is what his name should be. Mike Vrabel was amazing. He took the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game, and they beat the freaking Chiefs when Mahomes was an MVP.
Really?
No, they lost that game. But they were the number 1 seed that year, and they were amazing. I forgot that they actually lost that game. But yeah, like, no. Mike Vrabel is amazing, and I will not hear that crap. That's ridiculous. 32? 32 is Brian Schottenheimer. Get off of him. That's crazy.
Kellen Moore was number 31.
Kellen Moore makes sense. Kellen Moore. I think they're ranking teams because the Patriots are a worse team than the Cowboys. I don't think he's necessarily ranking coaches because Harbaugh I would not put at 3.
Really?
Not John. I would put him in the top 5, but he would not be a 3. Okay. You can make an argument. You could definitely make an argument for him in the top 3. Actually, I just wouldn't do it personally. I would still probably put Shanahan, even though I fucking hate him. I just think he's a better coach. The problem is and I totally sold him earlier and called him a choke artist. He is a choke artist, but he's an amazing coach. He's made it to the Super Bowl a bunch of times.
Gotcha.
Right, and that has to account for something.
It does.
Yeah,
I think so at least.
Damn. And I knew Andy Reid was going to be number 1. He's got the most Super Bowls in the league right now by a margin. So, you didn't know that Pete went to the Raiders?
I didn't know he went to the Raiders. I knew he left Seattle.
Left. We fired him.
Yeah.
People will cover that story up, but we fired him. And I love Pete Carroll, and he's the best coach we've ever had. And I totally 100% am still behind them getting rid of him at that time. Because it was like 14 years, the message was getting stagnant, the team was stagnant, we were not going anywhere. We needed a new fresh voice, we needed a new fresh look. And lo and behold, we have won 10 games both years that McDonald's been head coach. What was that last year that he was the first time head coach? I don't remember. Anyway, we're a better team, I think, overall. Pete is an awesome culture builder. He will build a culture. He will build a franchise from the ground up and make them better than they were. But he will not, unless he gets an all-time kind of defense like he had with the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
Him winning is harder in the modern era because his schematics are out of date. He's not modernized his schematics. And the NFL is a lot more of a scheme-based game than it used to be.
What does that mean?
So, like, when you are scheming up an offense and a defense, the plays... And like,
when you say scheming, do you literally mean like scheming?
Almost, yeah.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay got their jobs because they were incredible offensive minds.
Okay.
Offensive minds. So there's the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, and then there's special teams. Special teams, I don't know how much actual coordination you can do on special teams other than like kickoffs and stuff. That's neither here nor there. John Harbaugh was actually a special teams coordinator before he became a head coach.
Cool.
So you're more of a CEO because you control everything. Offensively, you're designing plays. You're like designing motion plays and play action plays and pass plays and the way that the routes are run and the way the blocking scheme is set up. So it's a little different. Defensively, you're deciding on what coverage, like what zones you're going to play. If you're going to play man, when you're going to send blitzes, what kind of formations you're going to use to confuse your opponent. So it's stuff like that. So like McDonald plays like a multiple scheme. Like he has got players that he moves around like chess pieces. Defensively, he's like what McVay or Shanahan was on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion.
Okay.
But he's on defense. So schematically, you can change the game. You can make players better in your scheme that wouldn't work in other players' schemes or other coaches' schemes.
Okay.
So, Like Andy Reid runs like a almost a pseudo spread offense, which means that Mahomes is going to be out of the shotgun a lot. He's not going to be under center as much.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's kind of switching it up, and he's not going to run the ball as much. Right, but it's working because you have Patrick Mahomes.
Sure.
Shanahan is a zone run scheme, zone run play action. So he runs the ball a lot, but the way your line shifts. So like let's say you're in the offensive line is like right here. Let's say you're running like a zone read to the right. Your center, right guard, and right tackle are gonna like shade to the right.
Okay.
They're gonna flare out to the right in a zone blocking scheme, and then your running back is looking for a hole in which to burst through.
Sure.
So it's stuff like that, and a lot of it's more complicated than it actually. It sounds more complicated than it really is because it's really like, can you move someone in this direction? Because what a lot of times with zone blocking is they'll like shade that way, and then they'll kind of turn their face. Because like, let's say the right guard shades to the right, and then he turns to the left, and then the right tackle shades to the right, and then turns to the right. So you open that hole, so you open that gap, so you're running back to run through that.
Oh.
And then sometimes a lot of the times you'll have a fullback go through that gap first to block the first, second level defender. Because you have 3 levels on defense. You have the line, you have the linebackers, and then you have the secondary.
Okay.
So it's like that. You're getting real technical football terms.
Yeah, a lot of this is kind of going over my head, but I'm sure the sports dedicated people will actually really enjoy this.
Yeah, sorry guys, if this is not an episode for you, I apologize, but
it's okay.
I am a football nerd. So, it's
variety is the spice of life. We talk.
Yeah, we're talking about whatever we feel like.
Yes.
And I happen to be a sports nerd.
And I happen to be a budding sports nerd.
And I'm going to be helping Jack learn if he wants to. If he doesn't, it's totally fine. But if Jack wants to,
after the Super Bowl, I would like to do a Super Bowl podcast episode.
Hell yeah!
And I would like to do a tier list for me, having watched. Hopefully, I'll watch every game at some point.
We're gonna have a thing this year where I get Jack to watch a game of all 32 teams.
Yes, and then based on what I see of those 32 games, I'm going to make a 2026 tier list of the NFL.
It's gonna be cool, guys.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Jack to do that with me.
I'm stoked for it
because it's gonna be really fun. Because he'll be like, no, but why is that happening? I'll be like, oh, no.
Yep.
And I'll explain my thoughts because I'm not going to be 100% right. But I had to do that flex with the coaches. I'm sorry. That was just kind of
I also just want to make this public. This is a bit of an aside. But I've had a couple people tell me this is an actually pretty interesting idea.
Yeah.
For the NFL. So you know how the baseball has the home run derby?
Mm-hmm.
Where you get players from all over.
Yep.
And you just do
at the All-Star game, yeah.
Yep, like an All-Star game. And you just slammers.
Hitting slammers.
The whole time. Yeah. I would like a version of that for football where it's all Hail Mary passes.
Okay, they do something, not exactly like Hail Mary passes. The problem, okay, what you're thinking is, I'm getting a call.
Sure, we can just pause.
Yeah.
We'll pause. We'll be right back, folks. And welcome back, folks.
Yeah. Sorry for the brief interruption.
Yeah, that's all right.
I got a phone call. But yeah, no, that's interesting, the Hail Mary thing. You can't necessarily do that because of the way... Because, okay, if you want to do a real, like, chuck the Hail Mary passes, you have to have guys in pads, right?
Yeah.
And they don't do that in the offseason.
Ah, right.
Because they want to make... The thing about the NFL is... Because it's a business and you're paying players, you don't want them to get hurt.
Yeah.
So they will, like the Pro Bowl, they don't even play in pads anymore.
Maybe do something like a.
They do the Pro Bowl skill games.
Sure,
they do those.
Okay.
So they're kind of lame, but like, if you want to just watch it, like we can watch the Pro Bowl this year.
Okay.
And I'll show you what they're doing. Some of it's kind of fun, like, and then they do interviews and stuff, but they're usually out in like Orlando or like Hawaii and just like screwing around, like they play dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
And then like they did like they'll do like quarterbacks trying to hit targets with throws and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So
I was thinking that was another thing.
It's similar to that. Yeah, it's better than if they just like the home run derby is the home run derby. The reason the home run derby works is because baseball number one is like the most historic sport in America.
Yeah.
But the reason it works is because that's like the most exciting thing in baseball is hitting a big good dinger.
Yeah.
You know, like we love if you're a baseball fan, you love pitching and stuff, and you like seeing like strikeouts and complete games.
Yeah.
One of the other most exciting things is a perfect game for a pitcher. So you go all 9 innings, no walks, no hits.
Yep.
You don't have to strike everyone out, but everyone gets out. That's incredible. An incredible accomplishment, but it's not as fun as watching somebody hit a dinger.
Yo, dude, there's nothing like seeing a good home run.
Like Mariners, Cal Raleigh, our guy, our catcher, who's been an absolute stud this year, just hit a grand slam not too long ago.
Really?
A couple days ago, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, all 4, just clearing them out. He's a stud. So yeah. In that regard, I see what you're saying. The NFL just probably wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
They already do the Pro Bowl stuff. Like, they stopped doing the actual Pro Bowl game where they were playing in pads not too long ago, and they do like a skill showdown.
What if they did something like you had like a neutral party receiver, and so you just had all of the QBs kind of like throw a pass, and
it would be like, okay, hold on, I'm working with you. So you take you're not showing off the NFL receivers.
Unfortunately,
you're just doing the NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And Hail Marys are cool, but they're like the least likely to play to happen in sports. Like when a Hail Mary happens and it works, it's crazy.
Yeah, so when I say Hail Mary pass, what I'm really just saying is a long-ass pass.
You just want to go deep down the field.
Yeah.
I guess what you could do is you could take players from like the XFL and you could do that, but I don't know. I mean, it's a cool idea.
I'm just trying to think of something like...
No, you're pontificating, and I get it. It's just not... NFL's got a formula, and it's kind of working.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they always want to innovate and update and upgrade, and that's what they do. They try and do every year. I'm sure they're going to do something different for the Pro Bowl games this year, but that's like the least, like, important part of the NFL season.
Yeah.
Because you got, obviously, the regular season, obviously, the playoffs, Super Bowl. The draft is arguably way more important than any non-in-season thing, right?
Yeah.
The draft gets massive numbers now. Like the NFL draft gets humongous numbers, especially the first round, mostly the first round. I watched most of all 7 rounds this year, which is insane. Do not do that. I would never suggest that unless you're crazy like I am. And I didn't. Okay. Pseudo lie, I watched the first 5 rounds. Once they got a little bit past round 5, I was like, okay, I'm checked out.
This is a lot even for me.
And those guys that do the college tape every year, kudos to them because that is crazy.
What's the college tape?
Like when they watch every player that could get drafted.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
One
more time.
Yep. We'll be right
Small
back,
break.
folks. Welcome back, folks.
Sorry for the interruptions today, guys. Stuff's happening.
Yep.
But yeah, so sports is great.
Do we want to? So we're getting close to wrapping up.
We're getting close to the end here.
Do you want me to tell you my thoughts on Fearin' before we wrap up?
Yes. Actually, guys, I completely skipped this. So Jack has been watching an anime called Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
Yep.
Which is like one of the most popular in the last like 10 years.
Very, very popular.
So, and Jack just finished the actual show, so I wanted to hear his thoughts. So go ahead and shoot.
So I'll start off by saying, brief for those who aren't anime people. Frieren is a fantasy anime. It takes place in like a medieval world where there's magic and dragons and dwarves and stuff.
Typical.
Elves are very rare. Frieren is an elf.
Main character.
She is over 1,000 years old, at least, as far as we know. That's all we know, really, is that she's over 1,000 at least. Super overpowered mage, trained by literally the cream of the crop of human mages, who is trained by the cream of the crop of elven mages.
Yep.
So, the setting, the basic plot is it's a very slow show in a good way. It's kind of like
if you've never heard of a slice of life, it is like a fantasy setting slice of life with some actual plot to it.
Yeah, a slice of life is just kind of going through the day-to-day casual washing.
It's like following characters and their daily lives.
Yes.
But there's some more plot to this one.
Yeah, there's a more of a driving action.
Yes.
So I won't give spoilers.
Yeah.
But
so if you we're not going to really discuss the plot anymore.
No.
I just want to hear your thoughts. If you
Correct.
don't know what free rent is and you want to know what free rent is, look up free rent.
Yep.
That's what we're going to say.
So, this is my subjective opinion of free rent. I think it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the music is incredible.
Yeah.
The music is all orchestral.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
It reminds me of Lord of the Rings music sometimes. I'm not going to say it's kind of that. It's maybe not that caliber, but
no, but that's hard.
That's
really hard.
It is reminiscent.
Yeah.
I think that it's hard. It's hard for me to say it. I don't know too much about like how it was captured in the anime viewing zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's very popular.
Very popular.
I don't necessarily think it's like the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people say the newest shit is always the greatest.
Yeah,
but you're right.
I definitely don't think it's like mid or anything.
No,
like
it's really good.
I would say. I don't know if I would say it's fantastic, but it's pretty damn close.
All right, here's
pretty damn close.
Here's my question, because it's on the same kind of wavelength in a different kind of sphere.
Sure.
As this show, what was better in your opinion? This is super subjective too, so like let's not. What did you enjoy watching more, this or Solo Leveling?
Oh man, they're so different.
That's the thing.
They're so different. I
That's
think
the whole thing.
I think I liked watching Solo Leveling more.
Mm-hmm. The hype.
Because it is pure hype.
It's nothing but
hype.
Yeah.
The entire show is just you're watching the badass overpowered character be badass and overpowered.
Yeah.
Frieren,
and be doubted. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Frieren is a slower burn, and I think that is
Frieren's
good.
a better character study.
Oh, absolutely. I adore the show. I'll say that. I adore it.
It's a great show.
It's really good. I can't wait for more. It held my attention, which is saying a lot
for Jack. That's pretty hard.
Yeah. Holding my attention, having me sit still for 25 half-hour episodes.
Yeah. Takes a minute.
Yeah. Getting me to actually just sit still and watch that it's hard to do these days.
Yeah, we've struggled.
Yeah.
We've struggled. Jack, watch this. Okay.
There are a couple shows this season, like we've mentioned To Be Hero X before. We've mentioned Solo Leveling. There's another one that I've been... Sword of the Demon Hunter on Amazon.
That one's a slow burn.
That one's a very slow burn, but
it's really good.
It's pretty good too.
I think that's really good.
Yeah. But
I still have to catch up on the last episode that just dropped.
Yeah, I guess to sum it all up, my overarching thought for Frieren is that it is a fantastic, slow. It's very wholesome too.
Yeah,
it's very wholesome. It's just good. It's hard to say more than that. It's just good.
Yeah, great show. It's well worth watching if you're interested in that kind of a thing. Obviously, if you are not an anime enjoyer, or if you just don't have any interest, that's totally fine. But if you ever pique an interest, I'd say do it.
Frieren would be a good show to introduce someone to what good anime is.
Disagree.
Really?
Slice of life is not something you should ever introduce someone into.
Oh, really?
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
You should give them a show that's hype. Solo Leveling.
Solo Leveling, okay.
Because then you're like, yeah! And then you're like, get them into it, and then like they look for other hype shows, and then they're like kind of tired of the hype shows, and they get to the Slice of Life, and then you go to Frieren.
Okay.
Frieren's when you're into the anime sphere already, and you're like looking for the best kind of like Slice of Life fantasy kind of show.
Sure.
And then you watch it, and you're like, this is amazing.
Gotcha.
But you understand what you're getting into because you've seen that stuff before.
I don't know. I think I would still recommend Frieren to like a fantasy enjoyer who hasn't really dipped their toes into anime.
Yeah, sure. I can vibe with that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just talking specifically if you're a person if you have a friend that's just like, been an anime skeptic for a long time, and the first one you introduce them in is Frieren. It's slow enough that it's just kind of like, and then like nothing really happens for a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like you need a sort of.
I will also
people don't get what that.
I will also add, listeners, the first 2 episodes of Frieren both made me cry.
Yeah, they do hit pretty hard.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes hit really hard,
real hard.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would introduce some to, like maybe not even Solo Leveling, but like something else.
Yeah, because
something with an actual.
I think you're right because like some of the themes that are dealt with in Freerun are like mortality,
Yeah, heavy.
leaving your like what is your legacy
Yeah.
kind of things, like pretty maybe not heavy but like very mature topics, like what does your legacy look like?
Not that people wouldn't be able to handle that, but as a first anime,
Just being introduced to something.
there is a discussion to be had there on what would be one of the best animes to give people as their first anime.
You know what my answer is gonna be. It's a wrong answer, but
Oh no, are you gonna say fucking around High School Host Club or something?
no. JoJo, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's not even anime, dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
JoJo is just JoJo.
JoJo is its own thing.
Yeah,
That's not even anime. Like, I mean, it is, but it's like its own thing.
it exists in a league of its own.
You have to give me some time to think about it, but like, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, cringe," with like a Sword Art or something like that, just because it's. But it's easy to digest.
Yeah,
It has a plot. Does the plot always make sense? It's anime, so generally they never make sense until they make sense. I mean, and you don't want to hit it with something heavy right off the rip.
I mean, you could always go with the classics too, like
yeah, but then
Dragon Ball Z.
No, because that's way too long.
Fair.
You got to find consistency.
Yeah, fair enough.
See, that's really hard because and Sword Art was a gateway anime for a lot of people.
Was it?
Yeah, because you watch it and then you watch other anime and you're like, wow, this Sword Art was not as good as these other anime.
Do you think that you could make a case for To Be Hero X being a good intro anime right now?
I could not.
Really?
Number one, it's Chinese.
Okay.
It is dubbed, so that helps.
Yeah.
But it's an anthology. It's not a cohesive plot. It's not one consistent plot. It's not a Western style plot.
Okay, fair enough.
To introduce someone to anime, you need some sort of pseudo Western style plot where it's beginning, middle, end, climax.
Okay.
Fall off, rising action, all that shit that we learned in English class.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go too different. You want them to evolve into that. The reason that we like To Be Hero X is because we've been ingratiated in the anime culture. We know what it is. We know what it's like. We know how this works.
Okay.
And we're like, oh, cool anthology. That's super sick. Now, maybe people would also like an anthology, but they have no idea what's going on otherwise. Right? I think it's better to introduce someone, and they got the animation style change and stuff, whereas in like certain anime, it's all one animation style all the way through. So I personally think like a Sword Art, I wouldn't, people said Attack on Titan, I wouldn't actually do Attack on Titan. Also really long now because of all the complete seasons. You could do it. Sword Art also is pretty long now too, but I think Sword Art is not a bad starter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's a good anime, but it's a good starter anime. Blue Exorcist, before they added all those extra seasons, would have been good.
Yeah, they're just like the 12 episode.
Oh, no, Blue Exorcist is 25. You could do 25.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Sword Art, it's like 4 seasons now, so.
All right.
But, there's just so much you could do.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all for listening.
Yeah, sorry for our interruptions.
Yeah, sorry for the interruptions. We'll get those edited out.
Yeah, dude.
As in Jack will, my guy.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you all for listening. Appreciate it. We're going to chill for a second. Like and subscribe.
Yes, please. Share with your friends.
Share with your friends, for sure. And we'll be back to be more Shmucks sooner than later.
Next Friday.
We'll be schmucking. Peace out.
Bye.